Lagos is one of the most accommodating cities in Nigeria. It is a city that provides opportunities for all, and many would do anything to live anywhere within its walls in order to achieve their dreams. But those dreams came crumbling for some people last Wednesday, throwing the state and its administrators into mourning. Hello and welcome to Inside Lagos. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeniyi. We'll be back after this break. Please stay with us.
Oyinbo, Ekolowa Oyinbo, Oyinbo, why you speaking Oyinbo? Oyinbo, you dey Lagos Oyinbo. If I carry you go banana, my guy, you go love Lagos. If I carry you go to Elegushi, you go love Lagos. If I carry you go Niru, my guy, you go love Lagos. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for Loki. You cannot deny you no see. Father Keresi la wọn tèmi ṣá, ọmọ wọn Keresi wọlé bá. Kó dùn kó pọ̀ kó pẹ́ làwọn tèmi ṣá, ìtẹ̀síwájú Èkó làwọn tèmi wá. It never finish, ọlọ́pàá don get new motor. It never finish, èyí tẹ̀rí yẹ ó ti pọ̀ tó. Oyinbo, Ekolowa Oyinbo, Oyinbo, why you speaking Oyinbo? Oyinbo, you dey Lagos Oyinbo. If I carry you go Ikeja, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go Badagry, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go to Lagos Island, you go love Lagos, yo. Ele jamo, ele tiko, ele baje no. Central of excellence, lewa in case you don't know. Bijaye, Nimale, Bijaye, Nibele, Bijaye, Kakakiri do basumi malole. Riding through my city, and now hustle in my city, and now made it in my city, and now God bless my city, and now Oyinbo, Ekolowa Oyinbo, Oyinbo, why you speaking Oyinbo? Oyinbo, you dey Lagos Oyinbo. If I carry you go Korodu, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go to Ekpe, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go VGC, my guy, you go love Lagos. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for Loki. You cannot deny you no see. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for Loki. You cannot deny you no see.
Number 36 Mercy Street in Itafaji area of Lagos Island was 3 stories tall. It housed a school at the topmost floor, residential apartments, and rows of shops. But that building collapsed on Wednesday, the 13th March 2019, killing many, including school pupils.
Aremu mi ọmọ mi Aremu Saheed ní sùúrù Saheed ní sùúrù ní sùúrù.
Àwọn school yìí wọn ní approve rárá wọ́n kàn kọlọ.
The building that collapsed here, this is not the first time they've been warning the building, but we don't know why all our developers tó bá kọ́lé tí ò bá dá tá bá gbà wọn ò lè gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ but tí ọ̀tọ̀ yẹn ń kọ tá à ń gbà òun gangan ni then àwọn ìjọba wa wọn ò lẹ́bi àwa la lẹ́bi torí a rí school yẹn ká tó mọ́ ọmọ wa lọ síbi bẹ̀.
One of them was Malik Shueton, who was supposed to mark his 10th year birthday on that bloody Wednesday. We were told that the boy had insisted on staying at home to celebrate his birthday than to go to school, but after much persuasion from his parents, he left home and never returned. Among the first responders at the scene were officials of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, security personnel including the police, army, and National Security and Civil Defense Force, NSCDC.
It's been a tough one, but we are gradually getting towards, reaching the bed of the building. The environment here does not allow for much space for us to bring in bigger equipment. We've been able to manage in a crane to help us lift the beams to be able to access the undernet of this building. But so far, over 40 people have been rescued out of this building. I want to put on record the effort of this community. Majority of what we have done here today has been through the help of this community. They were here before us. They've rescued people before we came in here. And as soon as we came in here, we also joined them. Yes, we have lost some of these children, the account of which we will not be able to give properly now. But I am sure there are still more of them that will be rescued alive. We're trying to provide oxygen for those who are weak. We're also trying to drill a hole to be able to reach them.
Those injured but rescued from the rubble of the collapsed building were attended to at hospitals in the area, including the Lagos Island General Hospital and Onikan General Hospital. Many parents and sympathizers flooded the hospital to know the fate of their loved ones. While some smiled on seeing their loved ones alive, it was a different story for others. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode, who visited the scene, said the state government would cover the medical expenses of the victims.
To commiserate with the families of those that have actually lost their life in this collapsed building. I want to quickly let Lagosians know that this is quite an unfortunate incident. Our response units, they are already here. And we're getting additional cranes to be able to go deeper down where we are now to rescue more lives. I just want to appeal to people, when we are doing response to this kind of work, sympathizers, yes, they will naturally come, but I want to appeal to everyone that they should give the rescue workers a chance to save more lives. Hospital bill or whatever it is, to save more lives will be taken by us, and also see how those who are rescued, we make sure that we put them in the proper place, at least to have proper care.
This tragedy is just one of the many cases of housing disasters on Lagos Island. It has prompted questions about whether building developers are sufficiently sensitized to comply with standards and whether regulators would turn a new leaf in their approach to handling issues of structurally defective buildings.
This area will be undergoing a lot of integrity tests with the buildings in this neighborhood. And as you can see, some of them have been marked for demolition. We get resistance from landlords, but we must continue to save life, and we will intensify our efforts to see that those that have failed our integrity test, we will make sure that they are quickly evacuated and will bring these structures down.
Life has been lost. I think it's a call to action. It's something that it shouldn't happen, right? So all government agencies that are involved should sort of like speed it up if they have other buildings that have been compromised in one way or the other, it's for us to go out there, you know, and do the rightful thing. I've been to the hospital, I've seen that there are real fatality, you know, and my condolences are to the families, you know, and to the, you know, innocent children that we've lost. I mean, I think all of us need to learn a lesson from it, not only here, but all around Lagos.
The procedures are there, however, the enforcement, monitoring and enforcement is also weak. So again, we need to control or to improve the controls, monitoring and enforcement. The regulatory agencies, unfortunately, are usually understaffed. This is something that we all know. So what the Nigerian Institution of Safety Engineers is also suggesting is that the regulatory agencies can partner with professional bodies such as ours, so that there'll be a wider pool of knowledgeable people that can do the monitoring and inspection, and then they can then suggest to the government what should be done. So there are a lot of buildings that are old, there are a lot of those ones that are under stress, but what should be done, we're suggesting let's take a collaborative approach to improving it.
Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Ministry of Health states the casualty figure and assures of adequate care for the patients.
When a building is weak, they should pull it down so they don't injure and kill us.
The children that this thing affected, they should please, because they are in the ward now, they should please give them better treatment.
Today is a really tragic day for us in Lagos because of the tragedy that happened. But I want to assure the citizens of Lagos that we're on top of the situation. Early morning when it started, we created a triage center at the Lagos State General Hospital, and all the patients have been evacuated there. So far we have received about 20 casualties, and 5 of them have been transferred to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, and 3 of them to Bagada. And some were taken directly to Onikon. I have to confirm this, but those were more like walking cases.
From searching for survivors to making sure that they arrived at hospitals in good time, rescuers raced against the clock to ensure that casualty figures did not rise. By Thursday afternoon, more than 33 hours after the fatal Massey Street building collapse, tiredness adorned the faces of emergency responders. Soon enough, rescue operations were brought to an end at the site. With government picking up the cost of providing medical treatment, the real test is what happens when survivors are ready to leave the hospital but have nowhere to call home. Parents in the area called on the Lagos State government to demolish buildings deemed to be no longer fit for habitation.
Help us. Don't let us die this way. We don't know which of these houses are good. Please, the government should try to make amends. They should check the engineers and the materials they use to build these buildings.
We are expecting government to such a building like this to come and see what they can do to it. If you look at the environment around this place, we see so many buildings that were supposed not to be up to like 2-3 story buildings. So all this kind of a thing is something that will occur in future, that we, a kind of, in fact, we don't expect such a thing like this again. We don't pray for it. It was so painful.
They should help us to find solution, especially in this Lagos Island. The rate buildings are collapsing on this island is nothing to write up. Shall you get? The way buildings are collapsing, the government should do something.
The community is also now energized. They've lost quite a number of people and they don't want it to happen again. So maybe if we work together with them, then we can achieve success. The governor is ready. He said it yesterday that whoever is culpable in all of this will be, punished appropriately. I will imagine that he will put, effect to his statement very soon, and then we will know what to do.
Must you live here, where it's already people have been told to leave and they refuse to leave? My major problem is we need to sit down properly, have a strong meeting, and come out with a strong resolution on that meeting as to what and what we're going to do. It's time of no more.
end, the Lagos State government has begun to demolish buildings already identified with structural defects on Lagos Island in response to residents' appeals.
This is a business center. Everybody like to come and visit Lagos Island. So Lagos need to do something very urgent. We need them. There is no land. But what I think they can do is that they can cooperate with all this family to build their land for them and let them know they will have share in it. If the owner of the land can give the government the land, and later the government will be like 6-7 story, they will let it low for masses to afford it. So even the owner of the land can have 1 floor. The same thing that these developers are doing. But all these developers, they are quack. They are not know anything about the job. They don't have much money. They don't have cash. They don't have the knowledge about the job. So they are not qualified to be a developer.
I want the government to build low-cost houses like it was done when Jakonde was governor. We want the government to assist us. Houses on Lagos Island are very expensive. Lagos should be for all.
Many Lagos residents heeded calls for donation of blood to those rescued from the collapsed building. They trooped to the Onikon General Hospital and the General Hospital on Lagos Island, where the wounded are being treated.
There's need for blood. There's blood shortage. So people are here for voluntary donation of blood, and here there are stages, because not just though we need the blood for these people, at the same time the safety of these people too is also very important to us. So we actually have to scan them to be able to check their PVC, to check their blood pressure, we check their weight and everything to be sure that they themselves are actually fit to donate blood, because it's not just about them giving the blood. The blood has to be safe for them, and it has to be safe for the recipient too.
We are all involved in the project Humankind. You see, so I learned about it on the social media. So I decided to come and contribute my quota.
Just a cost to humanity, basically. I just felt like I've always wanted to anyways, and this is like an opportunity for me, so I'm here.
Head of Service in Lagos State, Hakeem Mori Okwala, led a government delegation to monitor the welfare of the patients.
Very sad that we have lost some of these children on site, but most of the children that were brought into the hospitals, thankfully to God, we have lost none. And the medical personnel have been very, very on hand.
Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, has described the act of extortion by medical officials treating survivors of Massey Street building collapse as unethical and criminal. Jide Idris said this when he visited the Lagos Island General Hospital, where some of the victims were receiving treatment. Jide Idris came in at 8:45 a.m. and quickly did his ward round at the victims' ward. He told TVC News that any medical official who extorts money from the patients as against the free treatment announced by Governor Akinwumi Ambode will be dealt with.
Every victim that is brought to any of our hospitals should be treated free. The same messages have been sent to all the MDs in charge. And because we may not vouch for a few bad eggs in the hospitals, what I will say is that any relation, any relative who has evidence of this extortion should please see us in the ministry or call us and give us, either tell the MD or tell us in the ministry. And I want to advise our health workers, it is unethical and it is criminal for us to take advantage of victims under this circumstance.
The State Commissioner for Health also called for caution on donation of blood. He urged donors to go through the right channel, which is the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service.
The people who are making these, who are calling for blood donation, yes, it's right, but they have to do it in a coordinated manner. They cannot do it without involvement of the people in the blood transfusion service.
The Minister of Health, Isaac Adewale, who also visited the hospital, says the federal government would support the state in the treatment of the victims.
We're working in concert with the Ministry of Health. LUTH responded, FMC Butemeta responded, Igbobi responded, and we sent in teams. So we're working together. is one nation, and there is no clear-cut line between us and Lagos State.
One of the children, Joshua Ogumbanwu, 4 years old, who is seriously suffering from limbs injury, will not be discharged until a surgical operation is done. 9 years old Khalid Amo shared his experience with us.
Ẹni kan ṣàánú yín. Okay, èèyàn mélòó lẹ wá rí? Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣókùnkùn? Ríran rárá. Kí làwọn nǹkan tó rí nígbà tó?
Rí ẹni kankan.
So nígbà tó wá gbé ẹ jáde, báwo lára ẹ ṣe nígbà tó gbígbó ló fa nígbà tó máa gbé ẹ jáde?
Nígbà Abẹ́òkúta náà ni mo wà.
Abẹ́òkúta ló wà?
Wọ́n fi gbé mi jáde.
Wọ́n fi gbé ẹ jáde.
3 adults and 10 children are currently receiving treatment at the General Hospital, Odon, Lagos Island. More than 300 people have voluntarily donated blood to the victims of Itafaji building collapse here at the Lagos Island General Hospital at the blood transfusion center here that I'm speaking from. And about 45 survivors were managed by the Lagos State Health Facilities. Some of them have been discharged, but so far 20 people have lost their lives in the incident.
Condolence messages have poured in from Nigerian leaders over the collapse of the building on Massey Street, which claimed at least 20 lives. They described the incident as tragic.
President Muhammadu Buhari sympathized with the parents and relatives of the deceased, wishing them God's comfort. He commiserated with the government and people of Lagos State and pledged assistance of the federal government as may be required by the state. According to him, I quote, "It touches one to lose precious lives in any kind of mishap, particularly those young and tender. May God grant everyone affected by the sad incident fortitude and succor." End of quote. Also, the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, commiserated with the families of victims of Massey Street building collapse. He advised the government to fast-track demolition arrangements once a building is discovered to be weak and deserving of demolition to save lives. Tinubu also said the school children lost to the building collapse did not deserve to die the way they did. He prayed for the repose of the souls of the innocent kids. The former Lagos governor said the government must now ensure adequate treatment for rescued victims, calling on Lagosians to donate blood to the rescued victims. Notable Nigerians who also commiserated with the victims and their families are Lagos State Governor-elect Babajide Sanwo-Olu, People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, wife of the president Aisha Buhari, and Are Ona Kakanfo of Yorubaland, Gani Adams, among others.
Inside Lagos condoles with victims of Itafaji building collapse. May the souls of the departed rest in peace, and we wish the survivors speedy recovery. I'm Adedoja Salam Adini. See you next time. Bye.